Hello guys, this is Planners again, and for today's episode I'm going to focus on a particular style of PvP that many EVE players like to adopt. I am referring to dual tabbing. Dual tabbing is not true solo, because even though it's only one person behind the computer, it is using several toons to have an advantage at achieving a particular objective. There is actually lots of rivalries between guys that resort to ECM and to links, especially links like to see themselves as honorable and ECM is dishonorable. Those are all pretty much excuses in my perspective. People will use the tactics that they see more fit to their gaming style and that they see more fit to have fun, and everybody wants the same. They want to win. Simple as that. Just use the tactic you like the most. I've personally fallen in love with using a logistic ult. So today's episode is going to be fully dedicated to use one toon on a DPS chip and my other toon on a logistics chip. This is not very usual, and well, I kind of find it somewhat original and extremely effective as well as cheap. So okay, this is the Logi I like to use, and it's an augurer, Tech 1 augurer, so very cheap. In the lows I have typical damage control, and the rest of the lows is filled with capacitor power relays. For the rigs, I also use rigs that allow me to be as stable, as more stable as I can, with medium remote repair augmenters, capacitor control. I use a cloak. Actually, a cloak is very important. It allows me to dodge gate camps, it allows me to warp to a safe and just cloak up and forget about this ship, or I can hug a gate like within 2 kilometers to 2.5 kilometers, just hug a gate cloaked up, and if my other toon needs reps I can just decloak, jump through. 3 remote traps. It's usually good enough, and also very important is a energy transfer. We find a lots of ships, Cinnaballs, Ishtars, lots of ships have newts, so I use a cam transfer to keep my other toon capped up. Micro drive, also a cap recharger, and just some flimsy tank shield extender. The only tank it has, it's a shield extender damage control. The tank is very flimsy. It's just to survive a couple hits. Its objective is basically to warp planeers, or to warp whoever he needs to orbit whoever needs to be wrapped at 50k. Micro drives on with full mods open with the 3 wrappers and the energy transfer running, and it is cap stable. As emergency, I also have some emergency ECM drones. They are good to put on top of any tackler that might come for the augurer, or just some DPS ship that might be nailing my main toon. This is an unorthodox fit, especially with the cloak there. I get some troll when I die. Oh, you have a cloak on your... well, okay. Anyway, it's very handy. You can just forget about it. In action, just orbit the main toon 50k, and it's cap stable. Just go away, look at the other screen, and if not, you can just look it up and see what your foes are doing, just be on safe. It's well, it's the one I use, and it's stupidly cheap. Okay, for the first engagement, I actually managed to warp into an anomaly and get a tackle on a Tengu that was redding. The funny thing here is that the Tengu himself has 2 ults that are remote wrapping him, so this is actually extremely funny, because I have a remote trap ult, he has 2 remote traps ult. Of course, I tackled the Tengu, and right now I have to find a way to break its reps. There is no chance I'm gonna be able to easily break through to Ospreys. I noticed that one of the Ospreys was taking damage from NPC rats, and since I'm on a Vexer, actually, I decided to put my DPS, that's my drones, on top of that same Osprey. Okay, you can check on my watch list that RTB just entered the field, and RTB is putting his ECM drones on the other Logi. So hopefully I can jam Paolo Eronis with the ECM drones, and at the same time kill Paolo Airnania, the Osprey that is taking, well, a good chunk of damage there, and hopefully I can break up the reps. At this point, the NPCs decided to start shooting my Vexer, and this means that stuff just got, well, harder for me. I really need my ECM drones to score a damn gem in order for me to instant pop that Osprey. It's going down, up and down really fast. Oh, come on, just break. Almost. And there it goes. Okay, the second Logi actually just warps off, and I devote my full attention onto the Tingle. Okay, I skipped some part of the fight, but here's the important issue. If you look at my capacitor, you will notice that it is empty. I'm actually being neutered by an NPC, and I had not realized that I had forgot to switch on the cap transfer from my Augurer. I actually kept out, I lost the scrum on the Tingu, I'm trying to put my cap flow back on, and come on, give me cap, let's scram him back, let's scram him. Oh, what? No, oh, come on, really? No. Yes, I just missed a juicy Tingu kill because I forgot to feed myself cap even though I had the means for it. This was a great start of an episode, I'd say. Nevertheless, moving on. Okay, I am actually chasing a Cinnable, more or less. I want to catch a Cinnable, and I jump into the 87 where the Cinnable just jumped. And okay, let's load grid. And I can see that the Cinnable, oh, is already kiting away 2000 meters per second, but he's somewhat approaching. He's kiting on the wrong direction, but he's 2600, it's moving too fast. Okay, he's slowing down, he just slowed down. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. So, approach him, overload micro drive, target him, let's overload scrams, overload webs, and I need to get... Okay, I managed to get a web on him. Good. This time I'm actually flying a Thorax, and the only reason I got to catch the Cinnable was because I was overloading all my mids. Remember, if you guys want to catch a kiter, you need to overload all your freaking scrams and micro drives and all that crap. Okay, now that I've caught him, I need to kill him. And the Cinnable launches out ECM drones, and this is really not to be unexpected. But I just realized I forgot to put drones in my ship. Okay, this bit is very important now. I'm trying to shoot the ECM drones with my guns, but even though I am trying to also web him, I only have one web on this Thorax, I simply cannot hit them. They keep missing the drones. So I just decided to ignore them, and well, when they jam me, I will have to deal with it, and there's really nothing I can do at this point. I could maybe change from Void Ammo into Kalari Navy Antimatter, it has better tracking. I really doubt it would be enough to kill the drones, nevertheless. Well, anyway, my ult is on grid, he's got remote traps and energy transfer on me, and the only thing I can hope is for not to be jammed, so please don't jam me, please don't jam me, please don't jam me, please don't jam me, blow up, and there we go. I suppose we need to get lucky from time to time, right? In the next engagement, I'm back in my trusty Vexer, and I had managed to catch a Sentry Dominix off the gate a bit. And unfortunately the Dominix had the backup from a Rapier and from a Wolf. Now, facing Sentry Domis is nasty, and I had to actually switch my tactic a bit here. RTB, my ult, instead of orbiting me at 50k, is orbiting me at 500. I'm actually hoping for my Logi to be able to out-track the sentry drones. Unfortunately, the Dominics realized this. He brought the sentry drones back into the drone bay and took out medium drones. Me, on the other hand, did not realize he had taken out medium drones, and he has right now just managed to kill my Logi. So right now I'm alone with my Vexer against these fellas, and the Dominix is holding pretty good. He was almost dead, but he is still tanking. Also, I am making a critical mistake at this point. I am slow boating away from the Dominics, thus moving away from blaster range. This is because I expected the Dominics to die long ago, and I was like aligning to the rapier to catch the rapier and try to catch the rapier when I could. But instead, I'm losing the Dominics. I am pretty much neutered out, and I believe so is the Dominix. He's not neuting me anymore, so I don't believe he has cap to wrap himself, but I need to keep squamming him, and there he goes. Okay, I am pretty much capped out. I'm not gonna go anyplace, and my only option here is to die. But even though I lost my Vexer and my Augurer, I managed to kill the Dominix, and that is a fairly good trade. So okay, another engagement. I went to Carbe Space through a wormhole, and I had already danced a bit with the Cinnabal, but I did not really found a good position to put a scram on him. I wanted him to think that I was running away from him, and I warped off a couple times. And right now on the bubbles, I was pretty lucky to land pretty much on top of the Cinnabal, just like I expected to happen. So okay, having managed to get the Cinnabon off guard, I have two problems. One is, of course, it's newts. He neuted me a bit, but not anymore. I don't really know why. If he newts me, he'll be able to break out of Scrum and Web. And the second problem of keeping down a Cinnabon are the ECM drones. So I have to, as soon as he switched drones, I noticed it at this point that he switched drones. I also switched my overview. I like to have an overview for ECM drones, and I started to focus on those little buggers. Actually, I realized that the Cinnabal was already in armor, so I just decided to switch my DPS drones from ECM drones onto the Cinnabal itself. I would just finish up the subject once and for all, and at the same time a prophecy lands on the bubble. That's his backup. And okay, I lock up the prophecy. Cinnabal is almost down. Good. What? Oh, come on. Really? Jammed? Okay, there's nothing much I can do. I need to approach the Cinnabal. I just get my micro drive on. I start approaching it, but the Cinnabal is already breaking range. He's already moving 2,600. I overload my micro drive, try to keep up as much as I can with it. I need to get a scram as soon as I'm able to get a lock. And for some reason the Cinnabal slows down, so it's already back in my scram range. And even before I can lock it up, it blows up. So alright, it seems that all this damn vast amount of bubbles around the gate was worth anything, because the Cinnabal died inside a bubble, and this is very important also. This is one of the reasons I also like to use a drone boat. Drone boat, even jammed or neuted, will continue to apply very good DPS on your targets. If you've been taking some attention to this episode, you by now already know that Solo Prophecy is not a match for my Vexer with the backup from the Augurer, of course. And, oh, okay, Drake came in. We're gonna ignore Drake, is 75k away, he's a bit too far away, so don't worry about him right now. I ask you to pay some attention to my drone window up there near the chat boxes, and you will notice it that I barely have any hammerheads. I don't have any more ogres, because the prophecy had focused it the whole time in my drones and really not in my ship. It was actually a good call. And at the same time I'm seeing this Drake burning at me, and I'm thinking, Drake wants to mess with me solo? I just spawned their freaking prophecy solo. So I'm thinking about bailing. This is all too fishy. I don't really think these guys are all that dumb to suicide just because. But oh, come on, I already killed the Cinnabon and the Prophecy. You guys know me. Of course I'm gonna go for it, bait or no bait. So I just rushed towards him. Shortly after battleships start to land on the bubbles, they manage to also kill my alt with sentry drones very fast. And well, my only option here is really to try and slow boat away from the Drake. So I scram the Drake, I web the Drake, I pick an alignment point, and hopefully I can get out outside this scram range and micro drive myself away and just warp off. So let's go. Okay, warp, 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 bail, 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 epic bail, epic bail, epic, and no. Well, honestly, had that one coming. I had the opportunity to bail, and I didn't. I knew that was gonna happen, and well, Bloodlust is something hard to control, really. Moving on to the next engagement, I find three guys that want to kill me, and at this point we had already done the whole startup dance, and that's warping to gates, at range, at station, at sun, all that stuff, and I pretty much brought them to where I wanted. I wanted them near the YN3 gate at range, and my augur is on the other side, so I'm jumping RTB and getting immediate reps on me. Now, um, now, at this point, these players showed a bit their inexperience, because they have caracals with rapid light missiles, and instead of just shooting the augur, and rapid light missiles have like 50 kilometers range easily, and instead of chasing the augur and killing him from far away, they could easily do it, and my augur has absolutely no tank. They just decided to focus on the Vexor. They just decided to focus on the ship they could not kill. So I'm pretty much scoring kills due to my opponent's mistake, even though I'm cheating with the Logi. Not only that, the second Caracal lets himself get tackled by me, but the Caracal has 50k range for damage and 24k range for points. He should never be this close to me. And now Celestis comes into the field. The Celestis is in fact dampening my augur, that's okay, but it is also dampening my Vexor. He should just be focusing the full damps on the augur. There is truly no need to damp a brawling Vexor. On the other hand, I was able to get a tackle on the second Caracal. Again, I should never have been able to catch that ship that is faster than me and can outshoot me. And even though I brought my augur so very close to the Caracal, the augur is probably like 10k away from me, the Caracal is still focusing on the Vexor. So they are really not focusing properly here. Okay, Caracal is about to go down, and at the same time a sacrilege lands on the field. I would love to focus on the sacrilege, but I can't. The Celestis is being really a problem for me, and I need to take it off the field. Also, the arrival of the sacrilege means pretty much that my time is running out. The arrival of a heavy assault cruiser in the field pretty much means that they are shipping up and that they are coming in force. If I am to withstand a chance, I need to get the Celestis off the field so that my logistics becomes operational as fast as possible. Unfortunately, it's already too late. If you check the watch list up there, you can see RTB taking full shield damage and is about to go down. The sacrilege managed to scram and focus on my Logi because I pretty much forgot to pull it away. A few more seconds and I am finally down. Okay, another engagement. I found this Tarks on a gate, and I pretty much knew that this Tarks was gonna be bait. He had cross-jumped me 2 or 3 times, meaning that he was hanging around waiting for something to happen. Nevertheless, I decided to go for it. I tried to bump him a bit off the gate, and he decided to start focusing on my drones instead of my ship. Soon enough, Gnosis appears, and okay, Well, only two guys is pretty manageable, and my biggest worry is actually the fact that the Thorax is active tanked. Active tanking ships are the worst ships I can find on my situation. Right now the Thorax is aggressing on the gate and I'm trying to break his tank and I simply cannot. At the same time I am applying tracking disruption to the Gnosis in order for him to miss me. But on the other hand, the Gnosis is focusing on my drones, so this is pretty nasty. On the other hand, I'm actually doing quite nice without my Logi ult so far. As expected, the Thorax jumps out because it aggressed, the Gnosis is coming down. Oh, come on, active tank Gnosis too? Ah, oh, come on, Jesus. I'm starting to get worried about this. I am finally forced to jump my ult in order to get me reps and show my full hand. I was hoping to avoid this situation for a bit longer, but oh well. The Thorax is also back, but they quickly realize that they're not gonna break my tank, so the Thorax decides to warp off. Now, I never thought for one split second that the Thorax was running away. I knew that the Thorax was reshipping in order to bring something they could bring me down. I thought about the aggressing and just bailing because my surprise effect was gone, but I decided to press on. To make things even worse, I am running out of drones. I finally decide to do something about it and take out his drones, because it's his drones killing mine, not his guns. At the same time, I'm clicking this scan like a crazy. I'm actually gonna pause for a split second and you can check this scanner yourself. Talos. Okay, now we know what's coming. I'm not freaking out just yet because this comes down to one single factor. How far is he gonna land from me? If he lands at range, he can easily focus on my Logi and then kill me. If he lands at 0, I can focus on him easily. And he landed at 0, he's aggressing me and trying to kite on an opposite direction, but I easily get a scram on him and tracking disruptor and the web, and he's not going anyplace. Fortunately, the Talos is not active tanked, it's just using the buffer shield tank usual classical on a Talos, and is not going to last long. Once again I turn my attentions onto the Gnosis, but he still has a massive tank on that thing and he simply de-aggresses and jumps out. So okay, by now you guys already understand the concept and the type of combination I'm trying to transmit here. You also have a good idea on the fights you can achieve. You can use, of course, this combo with the DPS and the Logi for plane ganks, or you can try to get some more exciting fights. It is, well, actually up to you. The last point I would really like to address is the DPS ship I use. I use almost always a Thorax or a Vexer. I like a brawling ship that can pin down the main target, and something Tech 1 that is cheap that you can scout in it. So even if I jump into a gate camp, it's only a Tech 1 cruiser costing less than 30 mil. A very cheap, very expendable. Also, I have a preference for drone boats due to the fact that I get jammed many times and neutered also many times, or after the Logi dies, and that's pretty much it. Make yourself look vulnerable, because if you roll around on an Ishtar, not only you're gonna probably die to the first gate camping encounter, but people will be afraid to just jump in and aggress you. With a Vexer they will completely underestimate you. Hide your logistic ship as much as possible. Keep it cloaked near the gates where you can jump through easily, or even near some enemies where you can have some cloaky intel on what they are doing. And with this combination, it's probably easier for you to engage two battleships, slow targets with short range, for example, and avoid being too much outnumbered because, for example, even three interceptors can easily isolate the Logi, kill it, and then kill also your DPS ship from far away, from 20k range, and that's just plain nasty. Also, don't forget to bring a friend if you can. You will have more meat grinder for your foes to shoot at. That will be good for a change, and you can still achieve great fights that way. Okay, fellas, this is all for today, and I truly hope that if you have the opportunity to go out with like dual tunes or something like that, I truly hope that you find the combination that suits you best, and especially that is a combination that is original and unique. See you next time.